Hello and welcome back to Mountain Blade Warband and our 10th year anniversary series. Alright, so we are actually going to be taking Suno here, or at least I'm going to try to. I didn't even have a look and see how many units were inside here, so let's cross fingers and hope that there are not going to be too many difficulties when we actually try to ascend the walls. Bear in mind, obviously, it's a siege ladder. I'm actually now kind of thinking that siege ladders suck. And I'm not really too pleased about going up here, but what can we do? what can we do otherwise, right? So I'm just going to try and get in here, try to clear the way for our forces. Actually, I'm just going to probably place people in a hold position right here so that they can continue to move forward. Like we found out in previous episodes, this new strategy seems to be very effective indeed, and so as you can see, look at this. My forces are already getting inside the walls. They are already planting themselves very firmly on the battlements and making things so much simpler for us. Very, very nice and simple. And then we can also just tell them to charge now. Look at that. We can just tell them to charge now, even if they are going to charge. That's fine, because as long as we are inside, as long as we have a pretty significant number of people inside, that is okay. We can basically just do that and we will be pretty happy with it. Anyway, let me see if I can maybe do some damage here. I would like to get another level up if at all possible. As I said before, I'd love to get to about 27 intelligence if I can actually make that. I don't know, it's going to be a bit difficult for us to do that. Generally, I feel as though if you're wanting to go for a very heavy attribute build in you know, trying to aim for 30 or something like that, you're probably going to have to do that really early on. And I'm talking about, you know, you're going to just put points only in that one thing. So if you want to be like a big strength build, then you're probably going to need to put all your points in strength from the get-go, from the very start. And in my opinion, that's probably what I should have done with intelligence way back. But obviously, then we're not really going to be dealing with a huge amount of leadership. You know, our leadership is going to be pretty abysmal. So that's obviously a bit of an issue itself. But, well, apart from that, what else can we do? You know, we've just kind of got to, you know, do what we can to muddle through here and just try and gain as much experience as possible. Now, I'm actually wondering what my forces are even doing right now. It seems like they're going down there. How many have we eliminated so far? Actually, not too bad. I am a little bit worried about dealing with these enemies here, so I'm actually going to just place my forces. Oh, wow. I am going to die, I think. Am I? I've got my shield. I've got my shield. Okay, no, we're fine. I'm placing my units over there so that they run in that direction. We've got to be a little bit careful here. Any damage I take is probably a death sentence right now. And I'm just going to try and be very careful about dealing with these enemies. That guy's shield is now gone. Let's tell my forces to charge in now, so that they can actually do damage instead of just consistently worrying about what's going on over there on the stairs. Because that's obviously not what we want. We don't want them to deal with enemies on the stairs. We want them to move forward and actually take ground, because them not taking ground basically just makes everything much more difficult than it has to be. This fellow is actually attempting to shoot me. Hopefully I can take a little bit of cover behind this SWADIA Knight while I close the gap. Nice. Oh, thank you very much, SWADIA Knight. Wow, you absolutely saved me right there, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, so I have a bad feeling about this, actually. I have a bad feeling that I'm probably going to have to retreat, mostly because I'm going to die. I'm going to assume that I'm going to die because there are many crossbowmen here that are just waiting. They're just waiting to shoot me. And so I am a little bit worried about this, but maybe this is very risky. As I say, this is extremely risky. If I die here, it's obviously game over, but then we're gonna have to come back in, and that's gonna be even worse. I am taking 0 damage from something. What am I taking 0 damage from? Obviously someone is attempting to hit me, but thankfully my armor is protecting me enough so that they're not penetrating the armor value. So that's really nice. But it means that people were focusing us in the first place, which is very worrying indeed. But it seems like we are actually going to be able to achieve victory. Oh, something happened. Someone tried to hit me on the back. Okay. I'm just going to stay around here. Just gonna stay around here, see if anything happens. Hopefully I'll... Oh, wait a minute. Are you serious? Look at this guy. I didn't even see him. Oh, that's a sneaky so-and-so, isn't it? That is a very sneaky individual. Oh, I took 3 damage. Okay. That is basically the end of my HP. I don't have any more HP now, so basically this is it. If I take damage, I'm done. So that was pretty lucky, actually, as we are now done. We are now done with the siege, amazingly enough. Wow, look at that. That's the kind of siege that I really enjoy. It kind of surprises... Is it surprising? I'm not entirely sure, but I love these kinds of sieges where I'm really low in HP, and I actually have to be a bit careful, but not too careful, so that I can get embroiled in the battles, and we can have fun, and we can see exactly what's going on with the enemy attacking me, and it's a lot more fun than just standing at the back of the battlefield, basically doing not much, in my opinion at least. Obviously, you can decide to do that if you want to. Maybe you're not a combat-focused character, you know? If you're not a combat-focused character, then that's completely understandable. But for me, I love getting into those situations where we're low in HP and we've got to survive against all the odds. I think that's a lot of fun. Anyway, let's see if we can actually win in the streets, because imagine if we lost in the streets. No, it seems like we're okay. Now, here comes the classic. Hopefully, it's not going to be a pure classic, but let's hope that it's actually going to be something decent. No, it seems like this is something decent. I was going to say, yeah, they're probably going to spawn me in with a bunch of recruits or militia or something like that, because they generally tend to do that quite often, but thankfully my forces are quite high level anyway, so even if they were to spawn me in with something not particularly good, for example, you know, Nord Warrior or something like that, then that's absolutely going to be fine, because most of my forces are actually pretty high tier at this point, so we don't really have too many worries in that regard. Anyway, yeah, I'm just going to take these Forest Bandits. They are going to become SWADIan Knights eventually, or shall we say they are going to become SWADians eventually. I'm not entirely sure if they'll become SWADIan Knights ever, but we can only cross our fingers and hope, I suppose. Anyway, let's actually just take a quick look here. We probably want to give this to Lord Olaf, or maybe to Nelag. Maybe to Nelag. Yeah, no, I'm going to give this to Olaf, actually. He's got way too little relation, as you can see right there. And amusingly enough, Nelag doesn't lose that much relation with me giving this to Olaf. So I'm a bit worried, to be honest, about how I have, shall we say, given some of these fiefs, because the fiefs in general, if they leave, bad things are going to happen. Oh, Marnid! Oh, hello there, sir! Yes, oh. Yeah. I can't take him into my army right now. This is actually one of the fellows that I wanted to hire all the way back in the beginning of the series. This guy is literally the one that I wanted. Okay, so wait a minute. There's actually someone else as well, but we haven't encountered him either, so we're going to have to do something about that. Anyway, I have a lot of money right now, so it might make sense for me to actually equip Marnid with some good stuff. So I'm going to be spending quite a bit here, not too much, but I'm going to be spending quite a bit. All right, so let's have a look. We've got chest piece, gloves, helm. We need boots. There's boots, and I think that's it, actually, isn't it? Yeah, I think that is it. Okay, and then we'll just get him a wonderful sword that he can hopefully use. What about this one? This seems pretty decent. Let's give him the thick elite cavalry shield as well. I actually don't know whether he has any riding skill, so I don't know about that. But generally, Marnid would have been a great addition to our party a long time ago, but unfortunately, because he's joining us so late, he's probably not going to be that useful. Unfortunately, there's really not much I can do about that, you know, as it is. So, oh yeah, as you can also see, he really doesn't have that much strength. He doesn't have any strength whatsoever to be able to wear this. I have no idea what he's actually capable of, because if he doesn't have, 8 in strength, then I have no idea. It feels like he can't pick up anything. But yeah, anyway, he's got 7 strength. Okay, so hopefully he's going to level up pretty fast. He is level 1. This guy would have been absolutely fantastic at the start. If I had not spec'd myself into trade skill, then I would have gotten this guy, and really early on, that is, and then we would have just basically boosted his trade skill super high, and then he would have been the one to do that for us. And in my opinion, that would have been great. But unfortunately, as it stands, nope. We didn't get lucky. Didn't get lucky with finding him earlier, and I'm actually going to be getting rid of these forest bandits for now because there are a couple of hired blades in the tavern here, and I would like to get these hired blades instead. There we go. All right. So we have now taken Suno, and the only things remaining are Vaillancourt Castle, Harengoth Castle, Teverin Castle, and Riboulet Castle, and that is it, with the exception of Praven, of course. And I don't think that that is going to be that difficult. Yeah, by the way, Suno's Castle was taken back by one of my vassals, so I'm very, very happy with that. And otherwise, maybe we should just go straight on to Praven, shall we? Or shall we do battle with a couple of these fellows? Maybe we should do battle with this guy. Let's see if... Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. Marnid doesn't have a horse, so I need to give him one. Let's give him a... Oh, I've got terrible horses. Oh, I really can't... He can't even use this, really? He can only use a... Oh, okay, he's only got riding skill too. Ah, well, never mind. I guess that's just how it is. Oh, yeah. I think someone said in the comments that Essays on Logic, I think that's what you said, is an intelligence book. So generally, if I used it, then I'd be able to get more intelligence, which might actually be super, super useful for us, because you can see here, if I have one more in intelligence, that's going to give me what I wanted, which is 9 in surgery, 8 in engineer, and all that wonderful stuff. So it might actually make sense for us to do that. I will definitely buy the book next time we find the book merchant. But as it stands, obviously I can't do that right now because I have no idea where he is. So hopefully he'll pop up at some point in the near future in one of these taverns, and then we'll be able to acquire our wonderful knowledge. Yes, the knowledge to defeat our enemies with engineering skill. Yes, indeed. Hopefully, at least. But yeah, I'm actually wondering whether when we get to 24 intelligence, maybe we should just wait and just stop leveling it up at that point. Maybe that would be a good idea, because if we stop at that point, it basically makes it so that the other books that actually advance the various stats, for example, I believe there is also an engineering book that the book merchant has available, and generally what I could have done was, you know, bought that as well. I think I actually might have bought that. Not entirely sure now, but whatever the case, I do have a book in my inventory, and if that does increase my engineering skill, then I could pretty much just get to 24 intelligence, use the book after I have put a point in it, and then I'd have 9 in engineering or something like that, which might actually be kind of good, right? I mean, I think that sounds pretty decent. But obviously, I would have preferred to get something like 10 and then have another companion or something like that do some engineering as well, because that actually has a little bit of a residual value that is added to your overall statistic. I know I don't know the particular formula for it, but I don't know whether you've noticed, but when we're on the party screen, you can actually see the various party skills that are adding up, and surgery is one of them, mostly because Jeremus has actually started to spec a little bit more into surgery, and he now gives us +3. As far as I'm aware, he's the only one that is actually doing surgery, of course, because obviously we only have Borcha and now Marnid. Oh, and Marnid actually leveled up. Fantastic. Wow, I'm actually really surprised that he was even able to get a kill. So that's pretty cool. And otherwise, there we have it. Okay, so yeah, now he can actually wear this new armor, which is perfect. But yeah, I'm going to show you that in just a second. Wait a minute, I need to actually spec him into the strength. And I have no idea what I'm actually going to spec him in. I guess I'll just spec him into Power Strike and just make him into some kind of heavy, I don't know, heavy cavalry or something like that, because that seems like the best possible idea. And yeah, the method of mechanical theorems, that I believe is engineering. So if we do the thing where we actually get that book that increases our intelligence, then we would get 24, and I wouldn't have to put another point into intelligence then when I get to level 33. But then I'm thinking, well, maybe we should go for 27, But that's the thing. If I go for 24 with the book, we get 24, we put the points that we get from that into engineering, and then we read the engineering book, then we will have 9 in engineering total. Because obviously once we're at 24, we're going to have an extra skill point, we're going to put that into engineer, then we're going to read the book, which gives us another skill point in engineering. So that should give me 9, which is going to be pretty awesome, because then, as you can see right here, I would have 9 plus 2, which would be 11. So I'd have engineering 11, which would be pretty nice. And as you can see, we have surgery 11 at the moment as well. So you see these little numbers in the brackets here, well, on the right side that is, they are the contributions that your companions are making to your own skills. So that's the reason why Jeremus having a little bit of surgery is actually kind of decent, surprisingly enough. Anyway, I'm actually thinking of increasing my pathfinding a little bit further with Borcha here, mostly because, again, of the benefits that we could potentially get from that. As you can see, pathfinding is 7 plus 2. Maybe we'll be able to get 7 plus 3 or even more than that as time goes on. I don't know, as I say, the specifics of that particular calculation. I just know that that is indeed a thing. So doubling up on some skills is not actually all bad, you know? It's not actually all bad to do that. Anyway, let's have a look at PRAVEN and see exactly what's going on here. 366, we should be completely fine to do this. So let's go straight on in and see what happens. I'm a little bit worried about, yeah, they're gonna try to take some of the towns back, which is obviously to be expected. Oh no, never mind. Apparently they finished the siege. Oh, okay. All right. Maybe they are. Maybe they're worried about that. Okay, so Marnid is obviously complaining that I sent off Matheld, which is really funny because obviously that was a long time ago. But anyway, let's lead our soldiers in an assault. I'm full HP, or I should be. Oh, is this a decent siege? I think this is an okay siege. I don't think this is going to be too bad. Well, let's try our very best, shall we? Oh, there's one. Yeah, it's one ladder. All right. It's one ladder, and it doesn't look like a particularly good ladder, but you can see at the very top there that some of the battlements have actually been destroyed. So it is actually giving us a slightly larger entry point, which is exactly what we need, of course. With such a small ladder to use, we need to make sure that we can actually get, you know, past the bottleneck, because if the bottleneck stops us, well, good luck. Good luck having actually any chance of getting inside there. But anyway, I'm going to be telling my archers to charge in just a second. I don't want to forget them. So let me do that right now, and I'm going to have to be very careful about dealing with my... I'm just going to select everyone actually, and look at that. Look at how easy that was. That was so incredibly easy for us to get onto the battlements. That's exactly the reason why having a battlement like that is partially destroyed is probably one of the best layouts for the offense, which is really strange because most of the time it's not like that. And I mean, it's random. Obviously, it's random whether that is actually the case, because you don't know where, you know, which siege is actually going to be which unless you are remembering all that stuff. Which generally I used to kind of know a bit more about that back in the day, but nowadays, yeah, I don't know. It all melds into the next thing because there are just so many sieges to do and so little time. Oh yes, so little time. All right, so it seems like my forces are actually murdering everything in sight, which is really, really perfect. I have not taken any damage whatsoever, jinxing myself right now. No one wants to take advantage of the jinx. Okay, apparently they're not taking advantage of it. All right, I guess that's fine. I guess that's perfectly fine with me, and I will just continue to get as much experience as possible. I actually have no idea how much these guys actually give because I haven't had experience gain displayed for a really long time. But I'm gonna assume they give you about what, 40 or something like that. They probably give you like 40. Maybe, I seem to remember that SWADIA Knights, killing a SWADIA Knight or something like that, I think gives you 240 experience, but I could be wrong about that too, because I might be getting mixed up with the cost of a ransom broker and selling a SWADIA Knight. to the slave trader. That might very well be the case. So I could be getting mixed up with that. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, if you get a higher tier unit, it's pretty good. You know, pretty decent experience gain. Like these man-at-arms, for example, I believe they give 120? Yeah, I don't know. My memory, as I say, is... It's a long time ago since I had the experience gain on. I think, what, 2016 or something like that? Yeah, probably a long time ago. Anyway, let's just try and get as much experience as possible. And you can see here, my forces are basically having no issues whatsoever. I'm actually kind of surprised that we are doing so well, because the Swadians are usually... I don't know, I feel like the Swadians should be a lot more difficult than this. But I'm going to assume that the reason why they're not so difficult is because they just haven't had the time to build up their Swadian knights or their Swadian man-at-arms populations. And they're basically just, well, just standing there not doing much. They seem to... Maybe they've wasted their time fighting against the Vaegirs or the Rhodoks or something like that. Even though, amusingly enough, the Vaegirs are not even a thing anymore. And the Rhodoks are limping along as we obviously dealt them a pretty significant blow earlier in the playthrough. So I'm not entirely sure who they've been fighting against. Maybe the Sarranids? Must have been the Sarranids, right? Yeah, must have been the Sarranids. Anyway, that was literally one of the easiest sieges that I've been in so far, and that is a big testament. Whoa, okay, I took a massive hit right there. That is actually one of the biggest hits I've taken so far. And this, it's actually funny because this is supposed to be an easy stage of the siege, but yet I've taken more damage in this particular scenario than I have taken in the last 2 sieges. Well, I mean, let's not count Suno here for a real quick second, but yeah, I'm talking about the streets here, of course. Anyway, let's just try and avoid getting shot by one of these guys yet again, because no doubt they're going to take me out. There we go. Just want to make sure I dodge it. And there we have it. Alright, no problem at all. And Marnid and Borcha are coming along with me. Oh, okay. Hello there, sirs. Hopefully you're going to be coming with me into this. Yep, there's both of them. Marnid got... okay. Marnid got murdered immediately, which is really not very good. Let's just try not to get killed ourselves. There we go. And Borcha is perfectly fine. So how does Borcha survive, but Marnid doesn't? Marnid does have a shield. I did give him a shield, but maybe he just got focused. I don't know. Maybe he just got focused down or something like that. Anyway, let's see what we can actually get here. Wow, they have a lot of troops right now. Okay, so I actually think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the Swadian militia right here, and we're just going to get some more not Swadian warriors, Nord warriors, thank you very much. And we'll then also get a couple of Vaegir archers, because they're one step away from becoming Vaegir marksmen, and we want those. Oh yeah, we want as many of those as we can get our hands on, so that sounds pretty good. And we've now taken this. Okay, so who are we going to give this to? Probably... I'm not entirely sure, actually. Let's give it to Nuas, I suppose? Maybe? Nelag is doing okay. Gunda needs to be the one that we give it to next, I suppose. Yeah, that seems like a decent idea. Alright, so I have a decent amount of food as well, so we shouldn't have to worry about that either. And we can now go into the tavern. Let's see, can we actually find the last companion? The last companion that I've been searching for this entire time. Doesn't seem like it. Anyway, Rinjar Castle has just been taken. That's absolutely fine. Suno is now under siege as well. Aha! Hello there, sir. I will want to murder you. I will want to murder you. You are very, very strong. Ooh, both of these are very, very strong. Okay, they're actually running away from each other. I'm not entirely sure why they decided... Oh, okay. Apparently, they're actually wanting to help each other. This is really... You know what? I gotta say, I feel like this is really strange. Because, I mean, just look at this. This guy, right now, Count Meltor, he could easily come over here and join this battle. And, I mean, look at what happened. I was able to manipulate the situation so that we had Count play by himself. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. They easily... could have ganged up on me, but the AI was just like, no, I'm not going to help out my friend. I'm just gonna stay here. and do some weird stuff. Not entirely sure what was going through his mind, to be honest, but I guess, who am I to say? Who am I to say? Maybe it's a good thing, you know, maybe it's a good thing, because then I don't have to worry about him, and yeah, everything is looking pretty rosy right now, actually. We don't really have to worry about much. We got another reinforcement wave coming in as well, but again, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? I mean, literally, he's just throwing a bunch of random infantry and footmen at us, and I mean, I don't really blame him for trying his best, but obviously, if you are looking to point the blame at someone, you should really be looking at Count Meltor, because he was the fellow that didn't help him out, you know? He could have easily... Oh, dear. I think I might be dead now, actually. Oh, dear. Can I actually run away by... I'm just facing my back so that I... my crossbow, you know, crossbow bolts will hopefully get blocked by my shield. Yeah, that seems to be working quite nicely, and maybe what we can do... Okay, yeah, great. I actually survived, amazingly enough. Hello, sir. Do you want to come over here and get murdered? Yeah, it seems like he's... Oh, no. Okay, he's coming back. Okay, that was weird, alright. I thought to myself, no, he's just gonna... He's going to ride on through. He's going to do a little bit of damage. He's going to ride on through, going to go to the other side, and then ride on back and do more damage. No, he just decided to get himself killed. That's perfectly fine with me, though, however, because that just gives me more experience. There we go. And that's it. Wow, we took very little casualties. But again, these are the kinds of victories that we really need to grasp when they present themselves, basically. Because any single time we can do this, it is reducing the overall combat strength of our opponent. And in this case, obviously, that's the Swadians, but this basically holds true for pretty much every faction. Because you really do not want to be in a situation where you just let your enemies gather strength as much as they possibly want to. Alright, so we do have a bit of a situation here with King Harlaus. Obviously, as you might expect, King Harlaus is fielding a very, very large army. But do I care? That's the question we have to ask ourselves, because, hilariously enough, wait a minute, what's actually going on here? Did they run away? Okay. I'm not entirely sure why they would run away when they have a massive amount of units there, but okay. Anyway, Viancourt Castle is here. Let's actually see. Oh, it is indeed a ladder castle. I will try to take this, because we have the opportunity. We're right here. We might as well try it. It is a 2-ladder castle as well. Okay, that's not too bad. Suno is also under siege, so we're going to have to do something about that after this too. But Count Tredian, as far as I am aware, he's the fellow that's actually besieging it. I don't think he has a very significant army at all, so we shouldn't have too many difficulties dealing with him, or we can just run him off. I'm very much hoping, however, that some of our vassals will turn up and actually start to do something, because while they have been very helpful in the recent past, they have been a bit absent in our war against the Swadians. So I'm actually kind of happy to see them if they actually arrive at some point. Okay, we do need to deal with the archers, as I've said before. I generally don't think it's a good idea to go after the archers yourself if there are still a lot of enemies on the front line, because you really want to make sure that your forces are moving through the keep as much as they can. But in this case, there are so many archers that you probably want to thin them out a little bit. And I might even decide to go over to where they spawn and literally just kill as many of them as I can, because otherwise it's going to be one of those cases where there's a massive gallery of crossbowmen just shooting all the way from the other side of the courtyard, and they can do so much damage. They really can. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump over here, and I'm going to take a little... Oh, I didn't take any damage? Really? Okay. All right, I'll take it. I really thought I was going to take damage there. And now we can do a little bit of sneaky, because I am obviously not going to be taking damage here either. These guys are not going to be able to hit me, and gotta just avoid that bolt. Thank you. Okay. That was actually remarkably successful. One of the times when I have done that and been successful, color me surprised. I don't know. That usually does not happen. Usually what happens in those situations is I go straight on in there and I think to myself, okay, let's kill a couple and then I'll run away so that I don't get swarmed by the reinforcements. But every single time I do it, boom, reinforcements spawn on me exactly at the moment that I go inside, and then boom, I just get swarmed, killed, and then I'm like, okay, well, that was unsurprising. That generally tends to happen to me quite a lot. Anyway, this time around, it was very, very nice, so I'm very, very pleased about that. Anyway, let's actually give this to Lord Gunda. As I said before, we want to give him a little bit of a castle here and there. And Uxkhal is going to get taken. Let's go to Suno real fast, because we do need to take that fellow out potentially. Ooh, yeah, no, never mind. He actually has a pretty decent army, surprisingly enough. All right, so we're probably going to have to deal with him, but let's just see what's going on here. Ah, Lord Nuas is over here. He is murdering Count Regus. Okay. I will help you, sir, by auto-resolving and losing 3 units. Oh, what a classic. Yeah, I really, really loathe the auto-resolve in Warband. I just wanted to tell you that Borcha may be a rough sort, but I'll venture a thoroughgoing rogue as well. But I'm proud to call him my companion, he says. All right. Yeah, so he actually likes him. Marnid and Borcha get along, which is very nice to see. And I'm actually going to be heading on over to Ribiele Castle because, as I've seen the people at Suno attempting to take it, they really don't pose that much of a threat. Even if they place a bunch of units in there, we can take it back super easily, as you've already seen. Suno is not a big deal at all, albeit I did take a lot of damage in that particular situation. So let's just continue increasing this fellow's power strike and strength so that he can continue to do massive damage. Oh yes, I mean, to be fair, he's probably not going to be doing that much damage at the moment, but later on down the line, oh yes, he certainly will. All right, so Ribiele Castle, let's actually just take a quick look. Okay, it's looking a little bit okay, actually. I think I will... I think I will commit to this, okay? I will commit to actually doing the Siege Tower, because then we have Harengoth Castle and Teverin Castle, and that's basically it, apart from Rindyar. But as you can see, it is under siege as we speak. The Khergits are actually attempting to take back a little bit of territory as well by preying upon some of our weakened fiefs in our conflict with the Swadians, but other than that, we really don't have too much to deal with. Anyway, that's probably going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.